أيها الأخوات أيها الأخوة أحييكم بتحية الإسلام تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I want to thank the brothers and the organizers to give us the opportunity to come here and to take some time thinking about the essence of our message coming from the heart, and trying to understand also in which way we need sometimes to take a step back and to think about us from within. I know that, and just even before that, I had a meeting with the youth, and it's very important when we live in Canada or we live in the West to think about our religion, our presence, our roles within the society, and sometimes to deal with a non-Muslim majority country. We have to do that. But still, sometimes it's important to stop, not to think about the interaction with people of other faiths, but to try to get a very deep understanding of our own message. In fact, what Islam, what the Islamic tradition and the Islamic teachings are telling us about ourselves, and in which way we have to understand our religion. Why? Because there is a trap. If you think about yourself in the light of the others, if you think about yourself in the light of the attacks, if you think about yourself as to responding to questions coming from people, you end up at the periphery of your religion. You end up responding to questions that are coming from outside and not at the center, at the heart of your tradition. And it's important to do this, but it's important not to do only this, not to be focused and obsessed with what shall I say if I am asked, but what should I understand when I am alone with Allah. And you come to the experience of the Prophet ﷺ, and you get the sense of this journey. Allah took him from a very specific situation and step by step helped him to understand through the revelations the very essence of our religion. And in fact, the power, the strength that came to the Prophet ﷺ as al-Mukhtar, the chosen, as al-Mustafa, the purified, as al-Habib, the beloved, is in fact this understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took him and step by step made him understand the essence of Islam and this message, which in fact is a liberating message. You don't understand Islam if you don't understand that the very essence of this religion is liberation. But liberation from what to get what? The first thing which is important, you all know this, that the Prophet ﷺ was in Nabi al-Ummi. In Nabi al-Ummi meant, and this was known by the people, that the Prophet ﷺ didn't know how to write and didn't know how to read. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after when he was 40 years when Jibreel alayhi salam came to him first. But before this, the Prophet ﷺ was unsettled. He was not happy. Not happy with what he saw in his society. He was not happy with the idols. He was not happy with the answers. And he was seeking truth and looking for the right answer. And once, when he was on his own in the cave, Ghar Hira, He was in Ghar Hira and Jibril came to him. Jibril alayhi salam came to him and asked him, read. And he said, I can't read. He repeated, read. I can't read. And then the third time, this is the first verses that were revealed to the Prophet ﷺ in Surah 96. اقرأ باسم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ باسم ربك. And this is a very important point, that very often we go to this and we go too fast in understanding this. In fact, the very start of the message of Islam was making the Prophet ﷺ understand with his mind and with his being that he can do things that he thought he cannot do. In fact, as a human being, I can't read. I am not equipped. I don't know how to read. And Jibril said, read. I said, I can't. I don't have the power. I don't have the knowledge. Read. I can't. Read Bismi Rabbik. Meaning that if you understand the very essence of Islam is the first thing that was converted with the knowledge of Jibril and Jibril coming to the Prophet ﷺ is the self-perception. What you think you can't do alone, with him you can. This is the power of faith. You can do it. You can do it Bismi Rabbik. So when he came to Islam, when he came to the first revelation, and when the Prophet ﷺ was called as the messenger, is get it right. That the very essence of faith is to change first the knowledge and the way you look at yourself. It's converting yourself through your heart. That what you think at your level I can't do, with him you can. And this is the way you have to look at yourself. In fact, the very essence of faith is not look at yourself through your weakness, but look at yourself through your potential power. Read means this is the potential power. The problem that in our education we forget this, and we start our education very often by saying to our kids, saying to our children to speak about Islam by thinking that when you come to faith, the first thing that you have to look at when it comes to yourself are your weaknesses. This is not the message of Islam. The message of Islam is what is coming with your heart when you are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to be very positive about yourself. And this is what Luqman said to his son. Anishkurillah. You have to thank Allah. What does it mean? When he is teaching his faith to him is with your heart. What you should start with is to say thank you. So if I start by saying thank you, what does it mean in the way I look to myself or at myself? What does it mean? When I look at myself, it means to say thank you. You have to start by thanking Allah for what He's giving you, not to what is missing. The message, the power of this faith is a positive look, a positive perception of yourself. So Luqman is saying this to his son, and Muslims should get it from Islam, the message of Islam. Be positive. Be positive and understand that the one who sent the Prophet ﷺ is not only Allah. It's the one that we also call Ar-Rahman, who is telling us through him, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ means this message is positive. Open your heart, something good is coming. يَسِّرُوا وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا. Make it easy and don't make it difficult. More importantly, بَشِّرُوا وَلَا تُنَفِّرُوا. بَشِّرُوا means good news come. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا come. O you who believe, come. There is a good news here. And this good news is all about change the way you look at yourself. What yesterday you thought you can't do, now you can. With him. Bismi Rabbik. So this is the first conversion. This is something which was what? The Prophet ﷺ being isolated in the cave, being alone, coming back to his wife, saying, Zammiluni, Zammiluni. Is this right? Is this wrong? Is it coming from the devil or is it going from Allah? And his wife, with her heart, comforting him, it cannot be the devil because you are good. Look at all what happened. The Jibril telling the Prophet ﷺ and saying to him, be sure that with Allah you can read. The Prophet ﷺ being shaken, going to his wife, and what his wife did is protecting him with his qualities, not his weaknesses. You can, because this is positive, because you are good. Everything which has to do with faith is to convert your sight into, don't look first at your weaknesses, acknowledge your strength and your qualities. And if you come with Islam with this is where you are positive. Start by thanking, not by looking at what is missing. And if you want to reform yourself, the further thing that you have, tazkiyat nafs. If you want to go to something which is reforming yourself, you should understand that you are equipped. When, for example, you have لا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى, you are not going to bear anything that is not your responsibility. Means that your responsibility, your burden, this is something that you can bear, because this is the way you were being created by Allah. So it's all positive. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Positive. You are not going to be asked to do something more than what you can. So you can. And if it is said in the Quran, reform yourself, it means you can. It means look at the positive side. So it's a conversion not based on, oh, my mistakes and my sins, but my potential and my improvement. A very powerful message. And it's coming to your heart. So you have to educate yourself through your heart to thank him. And because you thank him, your mind look at your qualities. Which is exactly the opposite of what Muslims sometimes are doing when they are teaching Islam to their children. It's all about be scared and look at your weaknesses. Not be well and look at your strength. That you can do this, to be positive. And then you come and you go and you follow the journey. And you understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the heart of the Prophet ﷺ at the way he had to look at himself. Now you think that you are alone, go back to them. And you go back to them with three things. First is the knowledge of God. La ilaha illallah. Second, a book, the revelation. Iqra. This is the book coming to you. And now the powerful love of those who love you as your wife, Khadija radiallahu anha. So it's all about this. Allah Ar-Rahman is sending you a book out of his rahmah, compassion. With this book you will find the love of your wife and you start now changing the world. Go and change. You can make this. So it's the relationship with Allah plus the love of the people who love you for the sake of Allah, and you can make it. If you understand this, this is what started the whole revelation by saying to the Prophet ﷺ, now with this powerful light in your heart, you can change the world. You are equipped. You can face them now. Now you have the power to face the powerful in your society. If you get that. If you understand the power of this message. And from where the power was coming. That the second step was for the Prophet ﷺ to get something which is change the way you look at the world. And all the first verses that we had that were revealed at the beginning were to change his sight. To change the way he was looking at the world. So this is why you have وَالشَّمْسِ وَالْفَجْرِ وَالضُّحَى. All this is what? Look at nature now. What do you see in this nature? What do you see with the mountains? What do you see with the sky? What do you see with the moon? What do you see with the sun? What is this? This is the power of God and the science, that the love that you need to change the world is the same that He gave to create the world. Look at nature is sending messages. And the more you look at this power in nature, the more you understand that the one who has the power to create all this has the power to make you change the world. It's the same God, one, La ilaha illallah. So sometimes when you go outside and you bear the last message, the Quran al-Kareem, that is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you understand that this is something which is very powerful. And by looking at the world not only with your eyes, but with your heart. So this is what you have, the difference between the people who have a heart that is open and alive, and people who have a dead heart are the people who have the Quran in their heart. And the people who look at the world and can understand the message of Allah through the science of nature. سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ. And what you have also, الشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. What is the verse again? Is الرحمن علم القرآن. You know the verse, and then الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان. So this is once again something which is, look at the world with your eyes, understand the meaning of the world with your heart. Your heart is telling you something. So it's opening the heart towards thank Allah, and opening the heart toward nature. Thank Allah for what He gives you. He gives you this nature, this creation. This is سَخَّرَ لَكُمْ. سَخَّرَ لَكُمْ. He made all this for you to understand that this is His power that He is giving you through nature and through His science. So this is the second thing that we see in the revelation, that the Prophet ﷺ was looking at the world, and all the verses were telling him, the world is a gift. Say thank you. Say thank you. But in fact, you have to look at this, that this is also another center of power. So if you think about this message, it's all connected with the power of faith. First, the power of faith that is changing you. The power of faith that is changing the way you look at the world. You look at the world and you understand in all these there are signs that Allah is sending you. I created all this for you, and now you have to use all this power with your heart to change. Look at the world with your heart and understand that even the stars, even the trees, even the elements are prostrating to Allah. There is nothing in the world which is not prostrating to Allah, but you don't understand their prayers. If you look at them with your minds, but you get it if you look at them with your heart. So it's open your heart now. Allah is talking to you, open your heart. You should be with the revelation exactly as you should be when you open the Quran. You make wudu, you open the Quran. You have two ways of reading the Quran. You read it with your mind, or you open it with your heart. And the way you read the Quran with your heart means that sometimes the Quran is not talking to your mind, but attracting and taking your heart. Exactly when we heard our brother reading the Quran now, the voice, the way you recite the Quran is an open channel to your heart, not only your mind. You have some people who don't understand Arabic. The only fact that they can listen to the Quran, it's opening something in their heart. So this is the power of faith. So this is what came first, the Prophet ﷺ. And then third, conversion, which was in fact something which is very strange. He's alone. He got the first revelation, changed the way you look at yourself. Second, change the way you look at the world. And now, change the way you look at the society. And you might think that power is coming with the powerful within the society. That's not true. This is not the message of Islam. If you look at the world with your mind, you think that the powerful are the wealthy people, are the people who have power. The princes and the kings and the presidents, these are the powerful. That's not what Islam is saying. And you have in Surah Al-Fajr, كَلَّا بَلْ لَا تُكْرِمُونَ الْيَتِيمِ وَلَا تَحَاضُونَ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ أَكْلًا لَمًّا وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. With your mind, you like money. But if you open your heart, you will understand something. That the people who are changing the world are not the powerful, but very often the poor people. This is it. That all the messengers, all of them, from the first to the last one, all the way through Abraham and Moses and Jesus, the people who followed them first, that give them the power of change, were not the rich, were the poor. Change the way you look at the society. Don't try to talk to the rich and the powerful to change. Be close to the poor and the last to reform. These are your people. And you will have people telling you, you are followed by the poor, the less powerful. And in fact, the power of this message is to take the poor, to take the marginalized, to take the oppressed, and in the name of this message of love to say, this is what we have to do, is to change the society. Look at all the verses at the end of the Quran, is all coming with the poor people. It's the power of generosity and justice, not the power of money. يَوْمَ لَا تَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. You heard the verse? إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. You think that money and children are going to make it? That's nothing. The power is قَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, pure heart. And pure heart is when you serve the poor, you educate your heart. And when you serve the poor and educate your heart, this is the power of faith. Third conversion. Third conversion that is coming from this very moment that the Prophet ﷺ got the first revelation. First, change the way you look at yourself. Second, change the way you look at the world. Third, change the way you look at your society. Don't think that the people who are going to change this world are the more powerful. So much so that when the Prophet ﷺ once thought that he had to talk to the rich to change the society, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk to him and say, عَبَسَ وَتَوَلَّى أَنْ جَاءَهُ الْأَعْمَى. You made a mistake. You thought that to change this society you have to talk to the rich, and these poor men who came to ask you about Quran and about Islam, you neglected him. You were wrong. Power is not with these people, it's with him. If you serve him, you serve me. And you serve me, you can change the world. Because if you think that by serving the poor, the rich, you are going to serve Allah, no. The rich people might push you to serve them. The rich, if you serve him, it means that in your intention, it's God, it's Allah, not him. Because he has nothing, but he is something. He has nothing, but he is somebody. And if you serve somebody who has nothing, it means that you might be close to Allah. Change the way you look. So it's coming from your heart. So the way you look at this is the whole dimension of this powerful faith and the power of your faith when it comes to change this. But it's not finished. It's not finished. Because when you deal with the poor, you understand that the poor people and the people who are marginalized are treated by authority and power in a way which is not acceptable sometimes. So not only you have to serve them, بل لا تكرمون اليتيم. كرامة اليتيم means ولقد كرمنا بني آدم. لا تكرمون, it's the same root. تكرمون in ولقد كرمنا بني آدم. Every single human being has the same dignity. Now you have to change the way you look at the world. You can't accept any situation where there is a lack of dignity. Go and change the world. This is what was said to the Prophet ﷺ. So this is why he came back to his people. Why to go back to these people if you don't have a mission? The mission is not only to be faithful and to have faith for yourself. Be careful with these people who are telling you in the name of a new kind of Sufis, for example, just transform yourself during the night and forget about the world during the day. This is a vicious understanding of Islam. We should not struggle against our own ego in an isolated way, because it's still egocentric. So we have now a type of understanding of I'm struggling against my ego in an egocentric way. Me for myself, with no solidarity. So the understanding of this forced conversion now is that not only you get this and you serve the poor, but you have at the same time to understand that you have to resist. What will be the first resistance? Which is part of coming from the heart. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet ﷺ, you come with such a beautiful message of truth. You come with a message that is in fact al-Islam. And al-Islam means idkhulu fi silmi kaffa, a message of peace. And still you are going to be attacked. If you understand the power of faith, the first resistance to this attack is not to do what they are doing to you. So if they insult you, you don't insult. You have to change your understanding of power. The power is not to beat the enemy. The Prophet ﷺ was asking to the companions, who is the strong man among you? So the first understanding with the mind is the strong is the one who beat the enemy. That's wrong. That's an intellectual answer. The true answer coming from your heart, مَنْ لَمْ يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ عِنْدَ الْغَضَبِ. The one who is able to master his or her emotions when he is experiencing anger. This is power. So there is a material power, a physical power, and there is the spiritual power. I check my tongue. I check my emotion. And this is the way you resist people. And for example, something which is the way you are going to resist to the people, and you know, this is a very old tradition. It's in Islam, but it was in Christianity. Is when you are insulted, you don't respond. And when, for example, he experienced with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq insults coming from the Ahl Quraysh, he was not responding. Because if you think that your power is to insult me, that I am going to be so weak as to respond, you don't get it. My power is not to respond to your insult, because this will be as weak as you are. Your insults are showing your weakness. My power is my silence. My power is to go beyond this. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Peace. I'm not going to respond to this because I'm checking my emotions. The power of faith. Okay. Are you following? And this is the way the Prophet ﷺ was asked to react. You are going to be attacked. And he knew this from the very beginning. Within weeks and months, he went with Khadija radiallahu anha. And they went to Warqa ibn Nawfal. Warqa ibn Nawfal was telling him, these people are going to throw you away. They are going to attack you. I said, am I going to be attacked with this message? Yes, because this is the fate of all the messengers. You come with peace and they respond with war. What are you going to do? To be as weak as responding? No, you have to resist. And the first weapon that you have is not violence, is not to kill, is to resist to what is wrong with them and to answer with the Quran. وَلَا تُطِيعَ الْكَافِرِينَ وَجَاهِدْهُمْ بِهِ جِهَادًا كَبِيرًا. The greatest jihad is to respond to the attack with the Quran. And what is the Quran? It's not a direct response. Get that right. Sometimes the people are attacking you and they are expecting you to respond to their attack. Exactly what they are doing. Don't do that. The Quran is much more powerful than their attack. So sometimes you have to respond beyond their questions and beyond their attacks. So the Quran, the Prophet ﷺ, you remember this if you have studied the seerah, the biography of the Prophet ﷺ. Very often when he was attacked, he was to quote the Quran. So meaning what? I'm not responding to your attacks, I'm responding from the source. And the source is stronger than your weakness. The source is stronger than what you are trying to do to me. My power is coming from the source. Inna lillah. I belong to him. So, wajahidhum bihi means with the Quran respond to their attack. And this is the biggest, so it's an intellectual resistance. Knowledge, it's power. And it's coming with your heart, so be strong. And you have to be courageous. And this is the fifth conversion. If you get this right, if you understand this right, if you know that the meaning of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power and no strength but with God. This hymn is giving me this strength. So I'm not going to play with my enemy. I'm not going to respond directly to your attacks, but I'm equipped to come with this power. And then this is coming from where? It's coming from your faith. And it's coming from what? This remembrance that one day you are going back to Him. It's coming from al-itmi'nan. It's coming from al-nafsul mutma'inna. That I'm assertive. I'm not scared. Musa alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, all were facing the enemies. لا تخشوهم واخشوني. Don't be scared. Don't be frightened. They are going to try to do this. Just be at peace with yourself. If you know me, know yourself. If you know yourself, know your message. If you know the message, don't be scared of the people who are resisting, because your message is stronger, more powerful than what they are trying to do. So it's as deep as, in fact, أفضل الجهاد كلمة حق أمام سلطان جائر. So the best jihad is a word of truth in front of a tyrant, a transgressor. It's coming from where? That you are able to speak the truth in front of someone who can kill you. And at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لا تخشوهم. Don't be scared. وَإِذَا قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ. So that all the people are gathering against you. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. They have more iman. It's coming from the heart. Do you think that we are scared? But let us end with all this now. It's the story of the Prophet ﷺ. 5, 6 conversions that is giving this power of faith, all coming from the heart and this confidence. It-tawakkul ala Allah. I trust Him. Now, let me tell you something. You are Muslim Canadians, and Canadian Muslims who live in this society. How much of this do you have in your heart? How much of this power are you experiencing that at the end you understand that you have a mission? And the mission is in Canada, first, whatever is the situation in this society, be confident and be positive about yourself. Be positive. Be positive. If Allah put you here in this society facing these challenges, if you trust Him, it means that you are able to make it. You are as able to make it as the Prophet ﷺ was able to read. Bismi Rabbik. We can make it in Canada. Bismi Rabbina. You are as able as him, because it is said in the Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. So he is the best example. And as he didn't know how to read, Allah through Jibreel alayhi salam gave him the power of doing this. In Canada, as Muslims, you have the power to make it. Don't put yourself as victims. You are not victims. You are tasted. And you can make it. Be positive. First, conversion. Second, look at the world around you. You have in this country, this nature, this environment. Celebrate this. But to celebrate the environment means you have to study. You have to make this yours. You should know why you have to thank Allah for being in this country. You can keep on thinking about the countries of origin that you left, but you have to convert this into something. Thank Allah for being in Canada. And if you don't know why you have to thank Him, you must maybe start checking and looking for an answer. Why? As Muslims living in Canada, you should now say, thank you, I am here. And if you can't say thank you, it's not because it's not coming from Allah, it's coming from your weaknesses and your lack of understanding of your own fate in this world. You are not in Canada by accident. You are not. And if you get why you are here, you start thinking, I'm here because there are many things in this society that are even better than in Muslim majority countries. Many things that you can do, many opportunities, many rights that you have. Go ahead, say thank you and start working. Second conversion. The third one is about who are you supporting? Who are the people who are close to you? Are you talking to ministers? Or are you respecting poor people in this society? Are you on the side of the marginalized in Canada or only looking to be respected and to please the powerful? Have you learned from history, yes or no? Or are you repeating the same mistakes? Are you now serving the poor in Canada, serving the oppressed, showing solidarity, love to all the people who are experiencing anything which has to do with injustice and dignified treatment, anything, you should be on their side. This is Islam, because this is the way you follow the Prophet. And it's even more than that. يُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. So you do this in the name of Allah because of your love towards Allah. وَلَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. We don't want to be rewarded. We don't want to be thanked. This is what we do because we understand it's coming directly from our connection to Allah. Are you doing this in Canada? Do you get the message? Or are you saying we follow the Prophet ﷺ but not in this teaching? That's the point. It's coming from your heart. Who are the people you are serving? And I will tell you if you serve Allah. If you are useful in this society, you serve Him. If you serve yourself, you are far. And some are in Canada to serve themselves, not to serve the society. The third conversion should come from here, from this. And then, more than that, in the way you deal with powerful people, in the way you change this society. And this is wherever you are, the best way to thank Allah is to serve the people in all the fields. And it has to come with generosity. Feel good and be generous. Give. To believe is to give. To give to anyone who is in need, to give to your fellow human beings, to give to women who are facing discrimination or violence. We give and we support and we protect. To give to the people here who are human beings, they might not be Muslims, but they have dignity. We give, we support, and we contribute. This is the way the Prophet ﷺ changed the world. And we have to contribute with this. But there is something which is important, and this is my last point. You are not going to reform any society if you don't love the people with whom you live. You are not. Because the way the people are looking at you, they can feel. You yourself, you feel when the people love you or not, like you or not. You feel this. You feel that some people are racist, and you can feel this. And some of us as Muslims, we are in this binary vision that we are good, we are Muslims, and them, they are not. So there is a lack of this love that is coming from the power of faith. Remember, the Prophet has been said as a mercy to the world. We are following the mission. We should be a mercy. You should be rahmah lil alameen. You should be rahmah lil alameen. But how are you going to be rahmah, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, if your heart are closed, not open? If you come with the mind and you judge, and not with the heart and you love. Can you just realize this? لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحبه لنفسه. And it's a love issue here. You are not going to complete your faith if you don't love. You don't love. You don't love for you fellow human beings what you love for yourself. If you don't, there is something which is missing in your faith. And Imam al-Nawawi was saying, we are here talking about al-ukhuwa al-insaniyya. ليست فقط الأخوة الإسلامية. It's about human beings. So you have to ask yourself, truly, do you love for your fellow human beings what you love for yourself? And if it's not, this is the starting of the true struggle. This is the way you change the way you look at yourself, you change the way you look at the world, you change the way you look at the poor, you change the way you look at power, you change the way you look at wealth, you change the way you look at the society, and you give something. So, in the name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, serve Him, love and give. Wallahu a'lam wa a'la wa ahkam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.